Grab your mouse ears and ready your wands. You're tuning in to Castles to Cauldrons, your ultimate guide to the magic, the thrills, and everything in between. From strolling right down the middle of Main Street, USA, to dodging fire-breathing dragons in Diagon Alley, we've got your theme park adventures covered. And now, sharing their hottest takes and best tips, here are your hosts, Jason, Micah, Rachel, and Terry.
Welcome to episode 69 of Castles to Cauldrons. I'm your host, Jason Davis. I have Terry and Rachel. Micah's not here with us tonight. She had some obligations with her son and open house. We're getting in that time of the year where everybody's going to be doing open house for their kids. And my kid starts back in like a week, 2 weeks, something like that. Well, yeah, August 12th is his first day.
I'll
August
be in
13th.
I'm in
Christmas
Jamaica
next week. Yeah.
Mm.
Monday.
Mine start mine are go back the 24th.
That's crazy. I was talking to Allison. She said hers starts on the 24th too. So it's like,
Yeah, it's like the
that's
week
really late.
before Labor Day.
You heard Amber. She's one of the agents from Magical Travel as well. Amber, it's great to have you on. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with travel with Magical Travel?
Yeah, my name's Amber, like Jason said, and I'm from East Tennessee, and I've been with Magical Travel for 7 years. Crazy. 2019. I was kind of in between jobs and always wanted to do it, planned my own Disney vacations, and I've actually used a travel agent a couple times when the free dining promo was a really big deal. So I just knew the value in that and just wanted to do it. So I Google searched and Magical Travel came up, and I was so excited to join their team.
Thank you for being a part of the team for so many years. I feel like the years have been flying by. So it's just crazy when these agents come on, they're like 15 years, 10 years, 5
Yeah.
years. It's like, where's the time going? So
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm still a young gun. I'm only like 3 years.
Feel like you've been here forever.
Right?
I mean, I've been doing it for a while, but not here. But it's good
Just
to
the
have you on.
rapport he has.
Yeah. It's good to have you on. We're going to be talking Disney Alaska cruises again this year. Both Amber and Rachel had an opportunity to go. Amber went on the Disney Wonder. Rachel went on the Magic, like we said before. So we're going to get their input on the itineraries and what maybe the differences between the ships and what they have to offer when it comes to going to Alaska. And then later in the episode, Rachel's daughter, Scarlett, will come on and actually talk about how it is for a teenager to come on and enjoy or not enjoy an Alaskan cruise, if it's worth your time taking your teenager. But we're going to start with my favorite topic, and that's Halloween Horror Nights.
HHN, baby.
We got our final scare zone, which I had to text Terry as fast as I could because it was confirmed to be downtown Clown Town. This is going to be the New York scare zone. So the biggest scare zone of them all, Terry. You should really enjoy it. Art the Clown's coming back, and this is where the killer clowns from outer space will be. And they're hinting at maybe Chance. So if you don't know the lore with HHN, Jack, which is one of the icons this year, has a girlfriend. I would equate Jack to like the Joker from Batman. And then Chance is the girlfriend, kind of like Harley Quinn, but like the universal version. So I'm excited for them. I like both of them.
Amber, what are your thoughts on HHN and all things spooky,
Are we going to get you
scary
HHN
skeletons?
in here?
Been yet? I don't know. I don't love spooky things. I don't like to be scared.
Do you
But-
enjoy haunted houses at all?
Not really.
Okay. See, she's one of us.
I feel like I fall in the not so much crowd.
It's a
Yeah.
Mike is,
fun.
n-
Take me
Mike
to
is not
Disney
on
World.
today.
If Terry can do it, you can do it.
Going to the first Mickey's not so scary, okay?
Yeah. That's more my speed.
It has Fortnite this year. That's not scary.
I would like to see the Stranger Things house. I like Stranger Things. So I know none of you all do.
I do like
Redwood.
Stranger Things. I told him that's the only house I would go into if I had to go. If I had to go in one, I don't even have to go in that one. But if I had to, that would be it.
I think we're going to get you in at least 2.
No, I don't think so.
I think Stranger Things and maybe one more.
I'll be
Gotta
with
get your
Terry on the
money's worth.
food.
Yeah, I'll be with food. You can have Spooky Clown Town. Don't like that at all.
Definitely afraid of clowns.
Because aren't there clowns and dolls? Is it one with dolls this year, or was that last year?
That was last year. Was the
Okay.
dolls.
I was like, because those are like two of the creepiest things I feel like out there.
Well, you
besides
also have
kids.
the Oddfellow and Jack scare zone too. So there's 2 scare zones that have clown potential. Because Jack is the clown.
Do you think they're going to have that necklace again where like you don't get scared, but then people try to scare you more?
I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything said about
Yeah,
it,
I haven't
Right.
seen anything.
but I would think they would. I think they'd bring it back just as a
Money grab?
Because it just like $40 or something.
It was like 20.
Or maybe 20.
I can't
I'm
ride
like,
it.
I
I'm
don't
not going to
remember.
buy one, so I didn't look at the price.
I feel
And
like
I'm
they should
not
wear a
going to
vest like the
encourage.
dogs at the airport. It's like, do not
Do not
scare.
pet.
Yeah. I'm here doing a job. Please
Big
don't scare.
blinking lights over you. Do not scare.
Yeah.
And then I'll slap a
I feel
sticker
like that
on
makes
the back.
them want to scare you more, but I don't know.
That's exactly the conclusion we came to last year, was that the big blinking necklace would probably make people jump out at you more in the houses.
They were $20. The
Yeah.
Deathly Afraid necklace, they were $20. Yeah.
You can get the necklace, Terry, and then we'll slap a sticker on the back of you that says, I love clowns.
No.
The last house was official. We talked about last week that it's probably going to be an Ozzy Osbourne house, and they did confirm it. So I'm excited for that. Universal Hollywood and Orlando are getting this house. It's supposed to be two different type houses, one focusing on the music career and one's kind of focusing more on his one specific album, if I remember right. I'm excited for it because I just like the music. I'm a metalhead, and Ozzy's classic metal. So get
Do
enjoy
they
it.
know which is which? Like which one's going to be focused on his
If you
music
wouldn't
and
mind.
which one's on an album?
Let me pull that up right quick.
Because this one I don't feel like would be so spooky. Like I feel like it would be
It's cool.
creepy.
Like when they
Yeah.
announced it. Sounded neat.
So Orlando's is described as at Universal Orlando HHN, guests will venture through ancient ruins and foreboding dungeons before boarding the Crazy Train for a twisted ride into the realm of inspired by the covers of his fan favorite albums, Diary of a Madman, Bark at the Moon, The Ultimate Sin, and Black Rain. Rules by the Prince of Darkness, his fantastical worlds draw from heavier sounds and sinister imagery that define the later years of Ozzy's career, transforming the creative evolution into a horrific journey through the unmistakably twisted imagination. Then the Hollywood is transports fans to where where it all began in Birmingham, England, home to John Michael Ozzy Osbourne, starting with Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne's most famous song. Guests will travel through time from his early childhood to the Ozzy Osbourne Asylum, inspired by his iconic album Diary of a Madman. As they weave through the decades and unique iterations of Ozzy's persona, will come to life from Madman Ozzy to Werewolf Ozzy to Prince of Darkness, the moniker he earned in the 1970s.
So you think the first one, since it's more Prince of Darkness themed, it'll be like more like hellish, hellscape kind of situation?
That might be
Crazy
the one where you
Train?
see somebody biting a bat's head off, even though that's not true. But, you'll see that type of stuff.
Yeah. And maybe the other one's like a dissension into like madness, maybe?
Yeah, it's
Like-
focused more on him like as a person and how he
Yeah.
transforms through the years.
Because I honestly, like, I don't know anything about early Ozzy.
Oh,
My-
that's wrong.
my-
Besides that he
introduction-
ate a bat. That's all I
Yeah.
know.
Didn't eat a bat.
Okay, he bit a bat. Sorry.
My introduction to Ozzy was literally like the Osbournes on MTV. That's the
Correct.
first time. Like, I knew that he made music with Black Sabbath, like, because my dad listened to classic rock, but I didn't know any besides Crazy Train. That I literally didn't know anything about. I couldn't pick him out of a crowd of people. So the Osbournes, where he was Sharon, like you couldn't understand anything he was saying. That was my first introduction to him. So I would like to, like, as someone who doesn't know about his history, I think it would be cool to kind of like see his dissension.
Stranger
everything.
Things and Ozzy Osbourne. There's your two houses.
There you go.
I
And
think
I'm
I can
incorrect.
handle that a lot more than clowns and crazy things like that.
Last bit of it continues. So they released how everything's going to work with the Scream Early. You do not have to buy a Scream Early ticket, if you are already in the parks. So if you have a day ticket and you're doing HHN, you can start doing the houses at 2 p.m. The 3 houses will open at 2. It's going to be Stranger Things, Hellraiser, and the Jack and Oddfellow houses. So probably the 3 more popular houses. So you can go through those. At 4, more houses will open up. 5:15, you'll have even more houses open. 6:30 is when the event actually opens. So if you do this right during Scream Early, you can get at least half those houses done, if not more, depending on
gonna
how
say
crowded it is.
The staggered opening seems very, like, promising. Like you said, if you're there and you can get those taken care of, I mean, because it takes a long time. We went through them last year, and we had express. Did we have express pass
We had
last year with it?
last year.
Yeah, and it still took us 8 hours to get through
Yeah.
all of them, and we only stopped
at
like
it.
once to eat.
For 15 minutes, it felt like.
Yeah,
We were
it
like,
wasn't that long at all. So, like you said, if you start at 2, and you do have to show your ticket. Like if you stay,
yeah,
like
so
you have to show
you
your
have to
ticket.
scan your HHN ticket. There are places inside the park. It's going to be at Hogwarts Express, King's Crossing, and Illuminations, Villain Con, Minion Blast is where you can go and check in to get your wristband for the 2 p.m. entrance. So that's a good use of your money if you don't want to go in the park all day, to just go in at 2, which is what I recommend. I think I put it in our text for us going down, is that we should probably get the 2 p.m. ticket so we can go in, try to get some houses done, and then the rest of the night we can just go around eating food and relax type thing, not gung ho. Because Terry wants to do all the houses too.
No, she doesn't. You guys are a reliable source. I think you'll bring back lots of information.
We will. The last bit of news we have, Disney announced that October 7th, they will be doing the big reveal for Disney Believe. This is the next ship in the Wish class of Disney Cruise Line. They put really heavy into their advertising for it. So I have a little bit of a question for y'all. 3 things that Wish is pretty much that class of ship is known for. Naturally, the statue, the musical restaurant now, and then the lobby bar. So it's the Star Wars and Haunted Mansion. What do you think those, if changed, what do you think those 3 will be for this ship?
What's
Like,
the name? The Dream? Is that what you said?
The
It's called?
Believe.
The Believe. So the statue and the Believe would be.
It's fun to look at what everybody's talking about on the internet. There's a lot of people like, this is going to be a heavy Pixar ship.
You should have given us this earlier to think about.
No, I got to give it to you on the spot.
Not like Peter Pan or something.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think.
He's already on. I think he's already on. But he's already on like the front.
He's already on the front, yeah, of the ship.
I was just looking at the invite to see if there was any hint, and there's not any hints on the invite.
I believe, I don't know, for some reason like Aladdin, but I think that's just because the genie pops up. But I don't know if that's not iconic enough, I feel like, to, or have like a bar with that. Maybe a theme more than like a specific character. Like, if they could have a statue of like the genie coming out of a lamp, maybe, if you gotta believe, but I don't know if that's iconic enough.
Well, they put Aladdin and Jasmine on the treasure, so I don't know if they put the genie on.
In a way, they're trying to bring like newer, like I feel like Aladdin's not classic enough for them to be like old enough, but then it's also not new enough for like younger kids. It's in that
They made a remake of it, a live action remake.
Are you talking about the bar? Are we answering the question about what bar do we think theme, or we're talking about statue?
The statue, the bar, and then like the restaurant. That's the musical element now. So the Frozen, Coco, Lion,
the show one.
Yeah.
Well, I think the bar, well, maybe the musical, but Encanto, I think would be a good, maybe because that's so colorful and big. And
they already have that on. They have that on the treasure.
This
Coco's
damn treasures took all the good stuff.
And they have Coco, right?
Yeah, Coco's on treasure, not Encanto.
But Encanto's
on the dust. No, there's not one.
Oh, that's why she's.
Do you know why? I'm just probably thinking it's so themed the same.
You think that the
Encanto and Coco.
It's the colors of like
Hispanic culture.
The bright colors.
Maybe Moana, since that just came out, and that's, I don't know. I'm not a huge Moana fan, so that one doesn't do a lot for me. It's pretty. I like the Hawaiian theme. It's just not my favorite movie.
I feel like the Pride Lands like went flat for me for the show.
I liked it.
I didn't like the show.
I like the singer. Like, she was really, really good.
Because they're from Broadway, but like, I just feel like it could have been the classic.
It could have been bigger, yes.
Yeah. Ooh, that's not me typing. That's Amber typing.
If they could do that twerking donkey from the Disney on Ice, when they did Encanto, that was pretty cool.
It says the core theme is promise and possibilities, highlighting characters who believe in dreams of a better tomorrow.
What about Tinkerbell? Why haven't they put Tinkerbell in as a
She's not big enough.
She's tiny.
But it would still be like,
I didn't mean physically, but like
she really is
too.
I think She's like the icon for the parks.
She would be a pretty statue. I do feel like, because I don't think she has enough for like a bar or a show, but as a statue, I think she'd be a pretty statue, especially if they could make her like glisten or like have pixie dust or something that looks like it's floating around her.
Or at least put Peter Pan and Big Ben, like put that scene as the statue with Tink in there, so you have everybody, because there's a faith, trust, and pixie dust thing. You know, the whole.
I think it just needs to be Tink by herself if Peter's on the front of the ship.
She's too small.
Yeah, they can make a big statue. Big statue. Like you said, with pixie dust all around it. I think, and that would be pretty for pictures.
They can have Big Ben, like I said, Big Ben, and then it light up with Tink in there. Like she could fly around in Big Ben or something like that.
Yeah, and then
I think for theming for a bar, because you guys are kind of going in circles on this.
No, we're not. Isn't that
little
the theme
bit.
for today?
I guess.
What is your bar thought?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's what they have up in the Destiny, isn't it? The cask and what up there at by.
Isn't
But
that
that's not the
jungle?
Haunted Man. The jungle
Jungle
thing?
Cruise? Jungle
No.
Cruise?
There's more Jungle Cruise.
I have a pirate one on Destiny over there next to the big stage, Sarabi's. Here, I was thinking for the bar, keep the dark thing.
Cassin Canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind.
So you do Nightmare Before Christmas.
no,
I love. Yeah.
I don't like
Or
Nightmare Before
even-
Christmas.
You could
I love
could
Nightmare
do.
Before Christmas.
But it
you
does
could
have
do
a
a
huge
Eclipse.
audience.
It has
I'm
a
in-
great big audience.
I'm
Right,
in
so-
the big minority of that.
So I was like thinking, okay, cool. You had, hyperspace. That was huge. You
And
had.
that was dud though. Like no one cares for hyperspace because Haunted Mansion upped Star Wars so well.
It did, but I'm going to tell you when the Wish came out and that was the bar to get into.
Yeah,
that
it was
was the
packed.
bar to get into.
Yeah.
That was a pain to get in. Then you have the Haunted Mansion, and then you have
Haunted Mansion
What's-
again.
Haunted Mansion. What's the other one?
Or
The jungle? No, this is a Jungle
No.
Cruise. Not on.
Is it just Haunted Mansion,
yeah,
hyperspace,
Destiny and Treasure both have Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
So because
there
it
was
was
like a
so
third or
popular on one,
fourth
they just
one.
went ahead and put it on both.
and they should. I like that one. I really think
I-
the
I
theme
like
was
it
good,
too.
but
I'm
I can
not saying it's
understand
bad.
why it's too much of the same when you change ships.
What if they did like Moana and did like Tiki Bar kind of thing? I mean,
I don't think.
I don't
I don't
think
think
that's
that would
it's
work
kind of
on
a
the
phone
Netflix.
in. I mean, it's because it's already.
Yeah.
However, if you did a Trader Sam's at sea, would be great.
That would be cool.
I think you'd want a little bit bigger venue because the Trader Sam's, both in Walt Disney World and Disneyland, are so small on the inside
right.
that you either have to have Trader Sam's in like the show element in that little bar area, and then where the Sanctum is, or I think the Jungle Cruise bar across the way, like that would have to be the outer Trader Sam's, like what they do in Disneyland and Walt Disney World, where they have the porch seating.
That'd be cool.
But then you gotta have think about the drinks too. You gotta think theming.
If they got all the drink, like you can just bring.
No,
the
I know
drink
Trader
to it.
Sam. I know that, but I'm saying the theme has got to go with has
would-
to go aesthetically and drink
I
wise.
saying like Promise of Tomorrow. What did she say the thing was?
I'll say.
Well, with Nightmare, you have all
Promise
the
and possibilities.
Promise
you
and
have all the
Possibility.
drinks from that are in the movie, like all the potions that she makes to put him to sleep and whatnot. Like, the
Yeah.
liquor. So you have that stuff. You can kind of go with.
I think Nightmare
Death of
Before
Nightshade.
Christmas. I like it.
And while they're at it, they
I
can
like
do
it
the,
too.
Frog's breath. Frog's breath. Not the frog's breath.
then they could do an overlay. If they don't, they just need to do an overlay on the Treasure and Destiny for a holiday haunted mansion.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Like they do in Land.
Yeah.
But could you imagine the turnaround? You'd have to do that in a night. Like you'd have to shut the bar down the night before the last cruise to transform it because you only have.
Now they put the
Yeah.
gingerbread houses up though. I was on a November one. That was on the one before it switched to Christmas.
Yeah,
They had
do
a
that-
partition
That's
up.
a lot of that's backstage,
Yeah.
so they can build it all and just bring it up. But to decorate and redo
Well,
the
think
theme,
about it. If you close it, I don't know when the bars closes. I don't close up bars anymore.
Yeah.
But they're not going to open it the next day where everyone's getting off. So that's got to be closed until
right? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So like
Four-ish.
4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah.
right.
So you
They
have most of
could.
the day. Yeah, they could
Yeah.
flip it. I think that would be just a fun little thing. Like what would we want to see and believe? Because we don't want to see. As much as I love Haunted Mansion, I think they need to step out of the way a little bit and do
Yeah.
something new there.
Well,
I don't know.
business-wise, it makes sense to put something different because then you want people like, oh, I've been on this one, it's got Haunted Mansion, but if I go, I haven't been on this one, it's got Trader Sam's. Like, if everything has something different, it keeps people from always going on the same ship or saying, we don't need to do that again because this is just a different ship with the same show. So, and that's a big thing amongst a lot of Disney people and fans is they want to check things off list. Like,
Right.
I've stayed in this resort. I've been to this restaurant. I've ridden this ride. Like everyone wants to do everything. So for business, you want to keep everything different. That way the same people want to book more trips.
I don't know if a bar would get me on a ship so fast, but like the theming would. Like,
Yeah, that's the theming definitely would.
that's the
Or
reason
the
we
big
went on.
statue.
Yeah, well, I mean, the statue wouldn't, but
It
the
would.
reason we took Travis on his first cruise on the Destiny was because it was Marvel themed. It had the
Right,
superheroes.
yeah.
So if he didn't like the cruise, at least he liked the superhero side of stuff. So
Exactly.
Well, I think that's going to do it for the news. We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about Alaska with Amber and Rachel.
Are you dreaming of your next adventure but overwhelmed by planning? Magical Travel has you covered. With over 22 years in the business, we specialize in Disney destinations, Universal Studios, cruise vacations, and all-inclusive resort getaways. Our services are 100% complimentary when you book a vacation package with one of our knowledgeable agents. Request a free quote to start the planning process at www.magicaltravel.com. Mention our podcast to be connected with one of our agents you are listening to.
And we're back.
Rachel and Amber both went to Alaska this summer, like I said at the beginning of the episode. I went last year. I personally loved it. And then seeing what Rachel posted and what Amber was posting, I was just like, I got to get back. So we're already trying to figure out how to get back. Let's just start off with your pre-cruise stuff. Like, where did y'all stay? Anything y'all did, just for people to know what there is to do in Vancouver, because since Disney goes out of Vancouver for all these cruises. So, Amber, where did you stay?
So we stayed at the Pan Pacific, and we got in at about midnight their time. So it was, it's 3-hour difference from here. So it was 3 a.m. So we definitely went to bed. I slept okay, got up the next morning, looked out. It's definitely beautiful.
Did you have the bay view or the harbor view?
Yeah, we had, but not on our side where the ship was. So we had the other side of the ship.
And then Rachel, you also stayed at Pan Pacific as well.
We did. We stayed at Pan Pacific during the World Cup, I will say. So that was kind of fun. We were in California for the World Cup, and then, I got to Vancouver for the World Cup. So it's kind of neat to be in different cities for that. Yeah, we also stayed at the Pan Pacific Hotel. We did have a harbor view, and I got to see the ships come in and dock. So that was neat. My kids loved it. My kids are so used to Disney hotels that are like 5 stories high. So it's like resort view or, the boardwalk view. So when they get to an actual view of like mountains and like a bay area and like ships, it's like their whole like trip is made just on that hotel view.
Yeah. And then Pan Pacific on top of it doesn't start officially until like the 3rd floor of the building it's in. So
right. Correct. Yeah.
You're already halfway taller than most of the resorts on Disney property.
Yeah.
Right. And we were on, I think, with floor 14 we were on. So we had a good view. Kids loved it. We went in 2 days early. My husband was able to go see a client when he was out there. So that was kind of how we got to go 2 days. And then we took the day to do the Capilano Bridge, the suspension bridge. So we did that. There's a free shuttle that takes you right from outside the Pan Pacific right to the Capilano Bridge.
That's cool.
Totally free. They run like every half hour, 20 minutes, something like that. So it was great because it's pretty, I'm like, oh, should we just Uber? She's like, no, take the bus. And I'm like, okay, by far, do not Uber, take the bus. So we did that. That was neat. And then we had, we walked kind of like around the whole water area over there and across the street at the little food court. And I got my ketchup Lay's potato chips. It's great.
Amber, did you do anything while y'all were?
We did not. We came in the night before, so we arrived Sunday. Wonder leaves on Monday. It's a Monday to Monday cruise. So we just really got up, ate breakfast. My husband and I walked around the waterfront area, and he ran for a little bit. I don't know how long. I don't think but you could like see Stanley Park from the Pan Pacific. I don't think he ran that far, but I mean, he would have loved to, but he was, needed to get back.
Only
But
like
it's
3
so
miles.
beautiful.
Yeah, so like 3 miles from the hotel to Stanley Park. We took the walk all the way there, and then we Ubered
Yeah.
back.
I
But,
love that you could walk. It looked like a walk the whole way.
Vancouver is a bunch of runners too, like a bunch. When we did that walk, there was people running all day. I'm like, I'd love to live in Vancouver, where at my lunch break I could just go out there and
Yeah.
take a run.
Yeah. It was very lively,
Yes.
which I like to see. But, I don't know which way you came in from the airport. We came in a different way than my parents, even though we landed at the same time, but we had 2 different Ubers. We went through, I'm going to call people that know Philadelphia, it's called Kensington. That's where all the druggies are. There's
That's what we
definitely a
went to.
section in Vancouver that looks exactly like Kensington. And apparently I don't know if you call it the country, because it's not the state. Pays county, I don't know how they break up their whole British Columbia thing. They pay for them to be on the streets.
That's crazy.
But on the way back, yeah, we didn't go through
Yeah,
it.
we saw that too. And then we had 2 different Ubers as well, because there's 10 of us. So they came in a different way.
I think so. We just took the main drag in, if I remember right, and it was straight through downtown, and it was fine. But when we left, it was more of the grungy area, was more houses and stuff like that. I wouldn't say it was horrible looking, but it wasn't amazing compared to the rest of the area.
It's like every big city, it's got its little area
Right.
where
Yeah.
certain people congregate.
But I like, if you're going to Vancouver, I would recommend. I think everybody here would recommend you to get up there just maybe a day or 2 early, just to kind of.
It would have been nice to be
again.
there a day earlier, for sure.
We did the same thing though, Amber. When we landed like 12 o'clock their time, and we didn't get to the hotel until 1 a.m. So it was sleep in the next morning. That was the good thing about us getting up there a couple of days.
But you wake up and the ship's there, and it's just there's
We
nothing
woke
like
up
it
to
though.
the Holland was parked right in front of us, or docked right in front of us for 2 days, and then we woke up and we got to watch the Wonder come in. Nice view. So you said we said Amber did the Wonder, which went out on Monday. Rachel, you did the Magic. What day does Magic go out?
Thursday.
That's weird.
Yeah, Thursday to Thursday.
Okay, so the biggest itinerary difference for the 2 is the Wonder goes to Juneau, and the Magic goes to Icy Strait, correct?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
you do the same, catch a can,
And
The
stop,
glacier viewing.
Skagway.
and Skagway.
Skagway, glacier viewing.
And then you have 2 days at sea, depending on your.
Yeah, we had 2 days at sea.
Okay, so where do you want to start?
Well, Amber, did you think that did you have a sea day? You had a sea day front half and back half and bottom back half, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you think it could have been a 6-nighter and they could have just hauled it home?
Yes.
Okay.
But I loved going through the little reserve.
passage.
Like,
yeah.
that really small passage.
Yeah.
We didn't really see any animals, but we were on the lookout.
So the boarding process, I know Rachel touched on it last week when we were talking about Terry getting on the Wonder and how it compared. Pan Pacific is known to, you can book it in your hotel as a cruise stay, where they will take your suitcases from your room to the port. So that's great, because you don't have to worry about anything until you get onto the ship.
You don't even have to book that with your cruise.
Right.
I was like, we did not.
We
you
didn't
can
book
call
it
and
with
they'll
the
come
cruise.
pick them up too, and you just
Yeah.
Yeah.
tip 'em.
So they give you, when you check in, they give you like this little envelope and it has like the card information, and you just call down the day of. And when you call, I would make sure your luggage is ready.
right.
Because they came up, like you couldn't be like, okay, in an hour. No, they came right up.
Gotcha.
They say $3 to $5 per bag is a
Yeah.
suggested tip.
All the carry-ons and all the suitcases, we had 9.
No, we had 3 bigs and 2 small. We had 5 that we did, that they took. So we gave them $25.
Yeah, I was trying to get rid of my Canadian cash by then, so it's just like, here, have some of this. How did y'all find the getting on board when it came to going from Pan Pacific to your respective ships? Was it easy?
Yeah, you just literally go down the elevator or escalator, and you're right there. Line up. We lined up a little early, and
What
we're on the
time-
ship.
What time was your boarding? Your
I think we
port
had
arrival time?
11:30, but they had
Yeah,
a
okay.
yeah, they had a surprise inspection. So, I mean, we ended up getting on at 11:30, but I feel like all the people were backed up. I was like super into the cruise this year, and I was on the Facebook group, and I did the WhatsApp, and so everybody's blowing it up that there was a surprise inspection, because we were on the inaugural sailing out of Vancouver for the Alaskan season.
That sounds like fun. Like just being on the first month of the season.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I didn't realize when we booked, but I was like, oh, cool.
That's funny you say for the Alaskan season, because I feel like a girl that works for us, she took a trip the same time you guys were gone. And I even texted Rachel, or the group text, because GMA was on an Alaskan cruise. And then like a couple friends from like Instagram. I feel like everyone was in Alaska at the same time. And I
It's
was
just
like,
the season. Yeah.
that's what I was like, it must be just, and my parents go to Alaska a lot. And I know this is normally the time they go because, you know, it's not really 24-hour days, but basically.
Basically,
And I was like, I never had really thought about quote unquote a season to go. But this year, it just, like I said, it lined up where like I looked and I felt like everything I looked at was Alaskan cruises. And it all looked so beautiful and pretty. And everyone had all these pictures of all these glaciers and whales and just things they were seeing. And I was like, okay. Like, so when you said season right there, it all clicked in my head where I was like, it is prime tourist season for them.
we've had a lot of agents go to Alaska this year.
I was just going to say, I feel like this is the first year where like more people are doing Alaska than ever before.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with, now for Disney wise at least, having the 2 ships. So it works better with your schedule in some ways, because if you go on the Magic, you don't have to take off 2 days so much, you know, just built into the weekend. The wonder you'd have is still the weekend starting back, but you got to take the full week off before.
Yeah, it was nice that we were able to go over the weekend for Andy.
And then you're seeing a bunch of these people going up there as
these were like people I knew, like
right.
not like
Like,
influencers,
I'm saying,
like people I'm friends with.
On a YouTube side of stuff, Disney's trying to get it pushed in ways so that like Tim Tracker's up there.
Well, that's what I figured with the whole GMA thing, because you know they're owned by Disney. I was like, there's only one reason why they're spending a whole week.
Yeah, they did
on this cruise.
It's like just a bunch of people, and I'm excited to see Disney go and say we're going to put another ship there. So so let's go into
they just secured. I do want to say I just saw an article that Disney secured another 15-year lease at Icy Strait.
Yeah, so that's really good, because now you'll have the Wonder on their longer ships, on their longer itineraries, stop at Juneau and Icy. Because I was looking at one for next year, and I think like the 8-night or 9-night was
be cool.
Doing both. So let's go into excursions. I know y'all probably didn't stop on the same days as stuff. So like you know, your first stop was probably, what did y'all both do the glaciers on your first stop?
Yeah.
So what did y'all think about glaciers? Did y'all do anything special for the glacier viewing?
Amber, did you do the excursion?
I did not. The family I nanny for, 5 of them went, and then we stayed behind with the youngest. He is a handicap accessible, so it says you have to be ambulatory. We could have fought harder, I think, but I don't think he would have enjoyed it anyways.
You could have carried.
Yeah, that's what we could have carried him, but he doesn't love the cold. They said it was probably the coldest day, and he just wouldn't have liked it. But it was cool. They saw bears, so they had pictures of the bears.
Glacier. We didn't see bears.
Yeah, they saw brown coastal bears. It was so cool.
We only saw seals.
Wow.
Yeah,
right.
They didn't see seals.
It was seals. They were on the icebergs, and there was like a little one and a big one.
So what did you think? So we booked late. So I had to do online check-in late. I got my excursions late, not, at the normal time if I had booked regularly. So the only thing available was the adult one for the glacier viewing. And we were not going to do that because we had the 2 kids. So my parents got on the ship first, and then we were waitlisted for the glacier viewing, and we actually got it.
Nice.
So that's how we were able to get on it. And I will say it was one of the best excursions, worth every penny. It is priced higher than the other excursions, but like by $100, do it. What did you think of that?
Well, let me say this right quick before you say that, because we didn't properly introduce her. But we have Scarlett on. This is Rachel's daughter. She's going to talk about like her experience too. So we have that other voice of a younger generation to say like if she enjoyed it, if she didn't enjoy it, so that you have that voice, so that you're, if you want to take your kids at that age.
Yeah,
the
she's
first
12.
ever we've ever had.
First ever kid guest.
Yeah, I've been calling you a teenager this entire time.
She's 12. Yeah. Well, Mason went on 2 and he's 14. But yeah, she's going into 7th.
Teenager.
She's pretty much teenager. She's going into 7th grade. So yeah. So what did you think of the glacier viewing excursion where we went on the boat?
I thought it was really cool because then like you wouldn't just see the glaciers floating around, because then you'd be like in between a bunch of like mountains, and then like you would see
Like waterfalls?
yeah.
Yeah, so you saw like the waterfalls on both sides. You saw what was cool to get on that little boat with the pilots and then pulling away from a cruise ship while in the ocean like that. That was a really cool experience.
And then you like start slow and then you just like
Yeah,
pick
then
up
you
a
just
bunch of
go.
random speed.
So to be able I had videos of that. Like that was a really cool experience to be able to pull away from the ship while it's still in the water like that and not be at a dock.
Were y'all actually at the glacier at that point?
No, so
they
you were
picked you up
further
before.
back. Yeah, it was about over an hour, I would say.
I was standing for like an hour.
Yeah, we were on that before the boat caught up. So yeah, we definitely took off. We saw waterfall. Like we stopped at certain things. We saw different
there was
things.
like a really pretty waterfall, and then they like turned us around so both sides could see it.
Right. They scooped up ice from like the glacier or icebergs, little
They let
icebergs.
people hold it.
We have pictures of holding it.
We got one.
Yeah.
They made a margarita. They called it the Glacierita.
Yeah.
And they put a piece of glacier ice in there.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
we didn't do that.
I thought the hot
We were
chocolate
on the
was really
adult
good.
one, so it came with our.
Yeah. We had
I
hot
think the
chocolate.
family one did too, because Chris had mentioned that he got
Yeah,
it.
you could buy it on the family
Yeah.
one, but it's
Right.
included on the adult one. So like the adult one's a little bit higher priced than the family one, just because it's including the alcohol.
How
So it's
many
like
feet back or miles back did it go? 22 miles? It went like 22
Oh,
or
I think it was
20.
like 14 miles.
I don't know, but that glacier goes back so many miles.
But then like you would see all these little glaciers like floating in the ice, and then when you got to it, you would see this big old glacier.
That's what I was going to ask, as someone who's never been on an Alaskan cruise or anything like that. So you get off the boat and you get off the ship, and you get on a boat. Like how big is the boat? Like a ferry sized
Smaller.
boat, maybe smaller than a
It
ferry.
probably held, I think there's probably less than 100 people on the boat with us.
For
Less.
Disney
And you go, like,
standards, I
and-
would say think about the Magic Kingdom ferries, like
Okay.
the way it's laid out, but about half the size.
Okay. And then you go like an hour, you said, like until you like.
Well, I think it was like a
a couple
two and a
hours.
half hour
Yeah.
excursion.
Okay.
I think it was 2.5.
But we were like away from the magic for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there
Um,
two little boats?
There was
on it?
two, because one was the adult
Yeah, and then
one. and
yeah,
one
and then like
was-
they separated.
Yeah, they separated.
And then they just
One
kind of
went
like
this way.
tour you like not a shoreline, because obviously it's a glacier, but that's kind of what you do, is drive along the border of the
Yeah.
glacier, and they point out like
well,
bears
no,
or
so
seals or.
I think they have
you go through like this channel almost.
Okay.
And then the glacier's at the very end, like a dead end.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the
So
best
it's like
way to
it's like a big
describe it.
wall of ice.
Yeah.
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 It's
They
like
can
Game of
only go-
Thrones. You see like the wall
Yes.
up there.
Yep.
Only goes
The
so
wall's
close to
bigger
it.
than like
Gotcha. Okay. See, now I can picture. Like I said, I'm like in my head
Yeah.
is like never been on a cruise or anything. I'm trying to picture
like
this excursion.
I'm
That's
probably-
really cool.
So like that's it.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell it's like a glacier. Like the coloring is different on the ice
yeah.
than like
Yeah.
the
Different blue.
mountains and things. Oh, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Some like near the water, the glacier was like deep blue.
Yeah.
So it
Like-
changes as like, I guess, as frozen as the ice. Maybe as closer it gets to the water, it's frozen more than it is on. I don't know. I'm not a.
We saw one of it
Geologist.
falling a little bit.
I
Oh,
didn't
Like
see
that's
at
cool.
the very, but not like Beth. Beth got a really good video of that thing coming down. Did you, Amber, did you guys see anything?
No, we didn't see anything come down or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like turned away, and then the 1 second I turned away, I heard Mason goes, "It fell." I'm like, "What?"
Like just big chunks fall off of it.
Yeah. It was small
cool.
when we did it, but Beth has a really good video.
I'll have to
I
remember
will.
to post it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I will say that we went by, once we were back on the Magic, we went by like icebergs,
Mm-hmm.
and you would see like the wake, like, you know, the wake from, or the waves wake from the ship. You would see the water go over the iceberg because that sucker was so big it wasn't moving. And
Oh.
that was,
You
but
got-
then you saw smaller ones and you could see them kind of floating
like
with it.
bobbing in the water.
Yeah, but then you saw other ones and the water it stayed still.
Yeah,
I
Like
was like,
Titanic flashbacks.
but then like
You're like, oh
apparently
crap.
only like 10% of the iceberg is above the water,
right.
and
Yeah.
90% it's under the water. I'm like, how big is it?
Yeah, are we that close to it? Like, what's gonna happen here,
Right.
guys?
I'll say this and we'll move on to the next one. I remember when we got to that point of the cruise, it's like we opened our veranda and looked out and the water was just so green, so like teal, I
Yes.
guess. And it was just like,
Right.
oh my God, this is unreal. Like everybody talks about how blue and crystal it is in the Caribbean, but this is a whole nother level of just beautiful ocean water. And it's because of how the glacier melts and the icebergs melt and all that. It's just like, is this real? Like, how is it? And no pictures. Like the
No,
background.
they don't do it
was-
justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the background is a picture I took coming back from our excursion to the Wonder. And that you can't even tell there's any color change of that water, but it's beautiful water.
Which is
And as
another
someone
reason why
who-
you should travel. Because as much as you see pictures, especially for your kids and things, it's like, you know, we were growing up, I don't know, like you guys, like we took a trip to like the mountains or the beach, but you know, there was no like Caribbean travel or, you know, things like that. You know, people didn't go like to Europe and stuff. So there's another reason to travel with your family or your kids or, you know, your significant other or whatever, because pictures really don't do justice to a lot of things that you actually see. And
Absolutely
you just,
not.
and that's, you know, that money is well spent. Like when you have your tween on here that's talking about how much fun the vacation was.
Yeah.
Because she saw things, she's like, like Disney World's fun, but you've seen it 15 times, you know?
Yeah.
Never seen Alaska
17.
before. 17. So she's keeping count.
She's been more than she is old.
I was gonna say.
So let's go to the next port. We'll just go with Ketchikan.
Oh, that was the last one.
I don't care. I'm just saying the next port. Like we're just moving on. I don't know
Okay.
where you thought.
What's
'cause
next on the itinerary?
Our first stop was Skagway, if I remember right. We stopped in
Yeah, it was
Skagway.
Scat.
Okay, so-
Okay.
Yeah.
See, so if we go in order of itinerary, it's just going to be.
What I thought you were doing.
No, because y'all
The
have two
next one,
different
catch a
stops.
can.
Or catch a can.
Catch a
So we'll-
can.
we'll do
Catch a
Ketchikan.
can.
What did y'all do in Ketchikan? We'll start with Amber.
So we just, two of the boys, like the dad and the 16-year-old, we booked an excursion on Alaska shore tours and they did zip lining. Said it was 1000% awesome. They had a great time doing that. 16-year-old had never got to do, had never been zip lining. I think when we were in Costa Rica, he was too young. So he was excited, but the rest of us, we just walked around, visited Creek Street, and my husband and I, we split off and we did several local things. We found a local cidery. We found a local coffee shop. So I love talking to local people and just
What
seeing
was the
like
name of the cidery?
Alaskan Legends. It was awesome. Our assistant waiter was actually in there as well because, like I said, it was the inaugural sailing, so a lot of them hadn't been to Alaska, like a lot of the cast members, and so we
Was it like
bought him a
small-
drink.
Was it a small?
Yeah, where was it?
Yeah, where the sign is, like at the
Yeah.
Ketchikan, you walked like through it, and it was off to the left.
I think I went to that one.
Yeah.
Because we
Super
did
good, like,
we did a bar tour.
Local, they made their own. They only had about six or seven.
They also had
Souders.
home like brew. They had their own beer brewed too in there, right?
Yeah, and wine and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it was.
very light colored inside.
Yes. That's why I stopped. I was like, this is my aesthetic.
We went on Disney has a which was surprising, was a bar tour, and there
Okay.
was 6 of us from the ship that went on it, and we went to the Sourdough, which is right there next to the pier, and then we went to that one, and there was one that was a straight dive bar, but they were all great, and they all recommended whatever, but he said, we want to bring you here because they had their own cider, and I was like, okay.
And then we found a local coffee shop. And then we did the 4:00 lumberjack show.
Was that through Disney?
Disney. Yeah, we booked the Disney one. Would love to know your thoughts.
Yeah, I want to know because I've never been, I didn't
Explain
even
this
think about doing that.
lumberjack show again
Okay.
to someone who
Okay.
doesn't know.
So
By your look, it was awful too.
Scarlett,
why
was
didn't
it
you tell me
awful?
before? So we did okay. So Amber didn't have an excursion per se. She just went off a ship and did her thing. We
had the lumberjack and crab feast.
Yeah, we had the lumberjack and crab feast combo excursion. Andy and Mason were scheduled. We had it was the excursion of like a survival thing where they took them out and they had to survive and build like a camp or whatever. That got canceled due to lack of interest.
Okay.
So
I can see
we
why.
didn't know that until we got on the ship. And then I was able to add them to the lumberjack and crab feast that day. So they were able to come along. The crab feast.
Can I talk about the crab feast?
You can talk about the crab feast.
They gave us, you came in and they had these little bowls of salad and they're like, my dad and my brother were like, they only give you these so you can fill up and they don't eat too much crab. And Mason goes, I'm not eating this. And then they give us potatoes too, and they're like, I'm not eating it. And I was just eating a little bit of my potato. And then they kept on giving us crab. And I lost track of how many. I only had like 10 legs or something.
Are these the king crab legs?
No, they're Dungeness crab legs.
I was going to say, if you had 10 king crab legs, I was
they
going
weren't the
to be like, well, you can stuff it away because you're not that big.
Yeah. Our table actually won.
Yeah, like this girl, she comes up to us, she goes,
so you're the winning table.
You're the winning table because this was the bowl line and it was like a big bowl.
Yeah.
This was where it ended. We got up like here.
Yeah, we were stacking it.
I was looking at the other tables and I was looking at the other tables and like
they weren't. Yeah, they should have just left us with 2 big bowls. Like
I know,
between Andy, like my kids know how to. They were teaching people how to like cut open the crab.
Yeah, like
this
crack
girl
it
taught
open.
me.
Yeah,
she taught me.
Yeah, dude, we've been doing that here. Like, there's
get your hands dirty.
Right, but I will say, and I did talk to another. You didn't know how to do it?
No, I wouldn't. I don't eat crab, so.
I did talk to another woman who says that she felt that the crabs were so fresh compared to back home that the shells were a lot easier to crack. And I would have to absolutely say that the shells, I guess because they're frozen when they're shipped and all that versus freshly caught, the shells were night and day.
I know, like here, I would have to get the edge of my table. I would crack it over the other table because it would be so hard. But then also, you could tell they were fresh because I would get from the very inside of the crab, I would get some pieces of meat and I could just taste salt water. Like I just had some salty.
Yeah, it was good. And then, so after that, it's like kind of connected to the lumberjack show. All right.
So how that, like, it couldn't be that bad. Amber,
what did this lumberjack show entail?
We sat there for like an hour before they actually started because it just kept on blabbering.
Yeah. Well, they want you to line up early and get seated and then like do like a pre-show or whatever.
And Goofy comes out and that's like, it's so cute. So cute.
I did not realize that Disney does.
That's the best part.
No, that's the best part.
That's like it's pretty bad when Goofy comes out.
Goofy coming out the best part?
Yeah. So I did not realize this, and neither did other agents when I told them about this. But if you book that lumberjack show with Disney, you get the Goofy and you get like Disney branded, and it's geared toward kids.
Yeah.
So they had like the Disney Cruise Line banner, Goofy comes out type of thing. I know that Kenda did the exact same thing because I saw pictures of it, not without the Disney Cruise Line. So I am curious to see if hers was geared toward kids because they're like, we need the littles out here. We need the littles.
So the first 30 minutes, they had this competition and it was just a bunch of kids going out. They had a helmet in like connected to like a slingshot kind of thing. They put a ball in there. You would bring it back and then you'd let go and shoot towards the target. We probably did that longer than the actual show went on.
Right. It's like they did like 4 different competition things. And
games.
But they were like 20 seconds. And like it was filler fluff.
Yeah.
Like,
so they weren't out there like hacking wood or like doing lumberjack things.
And then this guy,
he
was like a criminal.
Yeah, they do that. Did you
like
have that too?
Stealer.
The cookie stealer?
Yeah, and he would steal the cookies that they made out of wood. And they're like, if he steals 5 cookies, the show ends. But he's obviously not gonna make the show end, so it's gonna stop at 4. And they're like, and the guys go, oh, he's really fast. We couldn't catch him. And then at one point they came in carrying each other.
But this is one of those things where you're praying that he does get 5 cookies, so it ends.
Yeah, it ends.
The dialogue from the lady was like really long.
It was.
And she didn't, I don't know if it's because of the first show or she almost didn't even really know her lines. A lot of people on my cruise complained and they got money back. They got like 20% refunded. But
Yeah, ours
yeah,
wasn't-
a lot of people were really, really disappointed with that show.
Did they advertise the lumber? I mean, did they say like? Did it have a
Really-
description? I guess I don't know.
It said like they would do competitions and stuff, but like I'm thinking I'm
Okay.
gonna see like buff men in like
Cut off
You know,
flannel shirts,
right, exactly.
like
And I
shorts
thought-
and boots.
songs.
Yeah, like-
I thought it would be more that like they climbed the big,
Yeah,
but
and
I
they
thought,
did things like that, but it wasn't.
right.
There was
It-
just
it
like
was
filler
one and
that
done.
I didn't think was needed.
I want to see him
Oh,
carve
yeah.
something of like chainsaws on like a piece of wood, you know?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, like an ice
some-
sculpture made out of wood. No,
Yeah,
And then they did this thing where they picked a kid, and they were like the people picked a kid, and they were going to saw
they
a
had
piece
to
of
help
wood.
them Saul.
Exactly, but one team picked like this like 8-year-old girl, and another team picked like this 3-year-old. And they're like, "Here, you get a postcard signed by all of our people. Like,
That's was the yeah. That's
you
was
get
the
one.
they
and
gave.
You get one."
Okay, Oprah.
Yeah,
They
I was thinking
gave-
that
so
she wasn't
did you leave
alive
a
when Oprah
review?
went off the air.
Or, like,
I
did you
did
leave a
not.
review or anything? That okay, I didn't know if, or if they sent like a survey or something later.
It
that,
really wasn't that expensive. There's obviously was with the crabs added. I think just the show alone
It
was
was like 89.
maybe 40, 39, 49 with the.
You must have got like
don't
a
know.
good deal, like
I
from
don't
it
know, maybe
being like one of the first, because I remember looking at the difference, and I think it was like $89, and I'm like, I thought it was going to be like there's kind of out in the open, and like you can just kind of walk by and look. I didn't realize it was like in a stadium, like not a stadium,
Yeah.
but there was like bleacher seating. Like I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was like that. Yeah, we paid for the premium for the crabs, but I think we got our money's worth eating the crabs.
Yeah, because we like ate half their supply of crabs.
Yeah.
were these
Just our
like
table
real
alone.
lumberjacks, or were they like cast members dressed up like lumberjacks?
They were,
They were legit.
yeah.
They were
Okay, 'cause
real.
I was gonna say that might have like limited like what they could actually do if they were just cast members dressed
No,
up like
they were
lumberjacks as
good,
opposed to
like-
real
Yeah,
lumberjacks.
no, they were good. Yeah.
Yeah,
The guys
so-
were good at what they did. They
They
just
just
should
weren't-
have
it
done
just
more.
Wasn't a
Yeah, they-
long enough.
It wasn't a
enough
good show. Yeah.
So you, Amber, you said you walked on Creek Street a little bit.
Yeah.
When we went, a lot of those stores were closed, or being so that it was the first week of the cruise, the season for Disney. Was that the case for y'all? Was there a lot to do when it came to?
No, they
shopping
were
in the park?
open. Several shopping. We did have Cassian, so we're in a wheelchair, so it is really narrow.
No,
we
and some of
did-
those have steps up too.
Yes,
you can't
so
get
getting in the stores were a little hard. Just something to think about if you need something accessible. But it was an easy walk. I didn't necessarily know where it was at. I'm trying to look on Google Map, and I'm like, I'll just follow all these people. They know where they're going. So
Sure.
it's literally like the Disney ship gets to park like right at the
Yeah.
premium spot in Ketchikan, and you just walk right out straight.
That was the one thing I wasn't prepared for. Was when we went in, I was thinking that Creek Street was like right there, visible, and you could walk out. And there
Yes,
it is.
I thought that too.
But it's in the back of Ketchikan, so you have to walk
Yeah.
all the way through, and then
Yeah, we did not do that.
it was nice. If you go later in the season when the salmon are
I
starting
think
to,
that would be cool.
that's where they all like migrate, and you can see them all going down the creek and whatnot. So that's the benefit of
Wow.
going to an August September cruise versus
That's cool.
May June.
Yeah.
But let's go to Skagway since that's the last one that y'all have in common. What did y'all do in Skagway, Amber?
So Skagway, we did dog sledding.
Ooh.
The real dog sledding, like with the snow or the dirt one?
Not with snow, on the dirt. So we got off the ship and there, and we actually did Alaskan shore tours as well on this one because the Disney one was full. So I'm trying to look and try to find something handicap accessible as well. They actually were not, is what they said. But I was like, he can be carried, and they were really good at communicating with that. And then it's funny to find out, like, we actually had a lady on ours that was in a wheelchair. I was like, fuck, but so yeah, we did dog sledding. We went through the town of Skagway there, and then went over to, is like was also a town, and it's no longer a town because kind of died off because ships couldn't get up to the port like they can in Skagway because it has deep waters. Just a little bit of history. And we did dog sledding there. They have a mushers camp, and we got to go around several times with the dogs. What else did we do? When we came down, you get to take a Unimog up, and then you come down, And there's the musher camp. And at the musher camp, you get to see the sharks, which is what they call like the 5 to 6 year old or 5 to 6 month puppies. So they have really sharp claws and really sharp teeth. You can't touch them, but they're so cute. And then they let you see the babies and actually hold the babies. And they're about like three months. So they were so cute. That made the trip worth. That made the whole thing worth it.
We did the one where you went to a camp, like the training camp.
Yes.
And it wasn't mushers or anything like that, but you panned for gold. You got a history. It was really bad, absolutely horrible. Like what your experience we had really bad. But then you
No
got
lumberjacks, no painting for gold. We got it.
We got $20 worth of gold, but and then they try to buy it back from you, like, or sell you jewelry to put the gold in, and it's like, I don't want to do that. We're just going to keep this. But then we went to the sled side, and they talked about the Iditarod and all that. But you got to pet the dogs and hold the dogs. They had all the puppies that you got to play with. So, that was hearing your side. I was like, oh, I'm glad we got this one, so we could actually hold the dogs.
Yeah. I was really specific when looking at an excursion, because they can get really mixed up. Some of them just say mushers camp and like roasting s'mores, and so that just means you get to go to the camp, see the puppies, they tell you about the Iditarod, and then you get to roast some marshmallows. And I'm like, that's not our crew. We are adventurous. We want to do something. So you have to really, really pay attention and be like dog sledding. It's like specifically says that in the even on the Disney ones.
Do want to mention
that made the trip worth it.
I'll mention a little thing since you said you booked this one through Alaska Excursions.
Alaska Shore Excursions,
okay.
Yeah.
So, like, when you can't find something on Disney, you can probably find something on a third-party site. The benefit of going with Disney is they won't leave you behind if you're on a Disney excursion, but you can probably save some money if you go with a third-party excursion, and they're usually really good at trying to get you back before the trip's supposed to leave.
It says that when you book, it says like ship back guarantee. You have to pick what ship you're on. There's always a risk of, like if there was a wreck and they couldn't get you back on time, then you would probably be missing your ship.
Yeah, but
now, if there was a wreck with Disney, there's probably communication with the, the ship, or something like that. But if it wasn't that much cheaper, I wouldn't say like hundreds. They did have more experiences. The one I wanted to do in Juneau was ice climbing, but they said that was too adventurous.
Like that.
Rachel, what
Me and Terry are going.
I would do it.
Okay.
I would think I'd pull half the ice wall off if I got up there.
It's like one of those ice picks. That's how I want, like the shoes with the spikes and the ice picks.
Rachel, what did you and Scarlett do and the rest of your family?
We went ziplining.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
how was it?
It was great. We met up with who we were. We were in a group of 12 of us. So 6. It was fun because the other group was the same dynamics. The 2 grandparents and the family of 4. Same dynamic. It was great.
Nice.
So we get up in a van and then we drive about 20 minutes.
I don't know, but you guys wanted to leave me behind.
Oh God, she got picked on the entire time by
Tony.
By Tony was one of our 3 guides. There was 2 girls, Celeste, and Mel, and then Tony. They're all like in their 20s. They're all like, one's from Michigan. They go up there for the 3 months of the season, like just to go up there as young 20-somethings, which I think is so cool to do.
Yeah.
And then we did like a little ropes course, and then we did 5 zip lines.
Yeah, but then they'd also be like, you'd ask like, oh, how long have you been up here? And they're like, oh, it's my first year.
Yeah.
But they're telling you all these crazy facts.
Yeah, they were very knowledgeable about the area. But I will say that you do have to hike that a little bit. That specific
Me, Mason, and Tony were like the only ones in the front. Everybody else was kind of laughing.
Yeah, yes. But yeah, so, my parents were a little, going up the hill a little slower. I asked them, I said, is it all weather? They go, yeah. I go, what if it lightnings? They go, we don't get lightning here.
Well,
which is nice. Like so lucky.
So, so they'll do it in pouring rain, but they don't care because there's no lightning. So we did that. I thought that was a really cool thing. Like, felt very safe. A lot of fun.
When somebody went down, like forcefully, they would rock the tree you were on a bit, and it would rock, and you're like,
yeah, that would be me if
depends.
I did that.
yeah, like, Andy jumps off and like it kind of, cause you're
kind of
like, you're
rocks.
so
Yeah.
high up in these trees.
The tree the brake was on though, it would shake a
yeah,
lot.
the one
Like
tree
you wouldn't
had
actually go on
brake.
that tree, but that was like connected to the brake and
Yeah.
it would just shake.
No, super cool. Like great views, cool
So
wildlife. Like
Yeah, you just go from tree to tree and it's really
Yeah.
cool.
How far off the ground do you think you were? On like the highest
Pretty-
point, do you think? Like,
Pretty far, but like you're also on like a hill and it kind of
yeah.
goes down.
kinda
I
went
would probably say
down.
like probably elevation. I think they said like 1,500 feet.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
like you're on a hill and then it goes like a
Yeah.
zigzag down, but then
Yeah.
you like this one across.
So no one did any of the fried bread. I can't remember the name of the place that was right there.
The line was really long. And then there was supposed to be a coffee shop beside of it. So that was kind of our goal, was to go to a coffee shop in every little town. And it was closed. So I was like, oh,
Oh.
well.
We
Should've
had
gone-
lunch at like a little spot, and we
It
had
was
like
a seafood.
it was a seafood place. Like the tour guide
Was it,
told
like,
us where to go.
Woody's?
Huh?
Was it like Woody's?
Woody's or something? I forget.
It was like
I had oysters. Mason had Dungeness crab. Like these guys had these humongous cream crab legs. My mom like tried taking
there
pictures
was
of
like
it.
$400.
They were $425
Whoa.
for like, but they were massive. I don't think I would spend that.
Like there was
for-
this whole thing, and there was
No.
these two guys, and they're just like, oh, "I'm just gonna
Huge.
throw away $400."
They didn't throw it away.
these
They
crabs.
ate it.
I know, but still, that's a lot of money. just
Mason
for-
said it was the best. He said it was the best lunch he's had that whole trip. Was that seafood place?
But I still have at one point he tried to eat the cartilage because he didn't. At that point, he didn't know how to crack eggs that well.
Hey, just eat what you can. Now, as someone who doesn't eat a lot of seafood, like myself, are there plenty of things to eat while you're there that aren't seafood?
Yeah,
Well,
you
yeah.
had
I did a lot of
seafood.
seafood.
Tenders.
Yeah, you could have
As long
got.
as
She got
there's
chicken tenders.
tendies. Yeah. Okay, we
went
can
Oh
to
yeah,
a-
they even subbed out the seafood for like the crab feast for chicken tenders and like a pasta dish. Like,
yeah, but and I'm
who's
who's
surprised
doing
but
that?
how many people
Yeah.
raised their hand. They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, these
Yeah.
few people are gonna have chicken tenders," and I'm like,
No.
"It's a crab feast."
Yeah. No, I eat shellfish. I don't eat swimmy fish. But so I would go to town on the crab legs.
Yeah, man.
The
we
oysters,
went to
I could eat a couple of them, and then that's about it on those.
we went to a pizza place for lunch when we were in Skagway with our pastor who happened to be there. So it was like,
Oh, that's right. You had him. Yeah.
yeah, it was like $40 for 4 pieces of pizza and 2 drinks.
Yeah. Everything's expensive in
It is.
Alaska.
But
I told
goes back
Andy
what-
before we even went. I said,
Because
don't want-
everything has to
don't-
be like imported in there.
I was like, do not
Yeah.
complain about the price. The price is the price, and we're up here once. Just
every tour it seemed
just
like
do
we
it.
were on, they said there's
but
only
no-
one road in or there's no roads in. It all has to come because Skagway, they said like the produce only comes once a week and it goes to that
Well,
one
yeah.
grocery store.
Our tour Coney was dating the valedictorian of Skagway because
There's
there was
only
5 people in the whole
graduating.
graduating class.
Of Skagway.
You know, if that was me, I'd be the valedictorian. Because 5 people, you pretty high chances.
I was gonna say you got a 20% chance.
I still would have
Right?
been I would like if there's 5
I
people, I'll be
mean-
number 7 in the class.
And fun fact, in Skagway, Princess Cruise Lines donated a
Skate park?
a skate park.
Because it was on the top of their cruise, but then they realized nobody's going on it on a cruise in the middle of Alaska, so they're just like, take it.
Say that we stopped at Red Onion, which is salon and brothel right there, and it was really good. We had a couple of shots, reindeer fart shots, amazing.
Wait,
And
was
the
that
food-
little show where the girls were hanging out the windows?
No, that was across the street. That was another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Okay,
there
we
were-
didn't see that.
Windows.
They were
We
hanging out
saw
the
it, but then we took the tour was only like $10-15 of the brothel, and it was really really fun. And then we went downstairs and had the reindeer fart shots. We had 2 each, and the food smelled amazing. If we hadn't have had pizza an hour ago, we would have stopped there.
Yeah. I love I was walking in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no cars.
I just thought that was
Yeah.
neat. Like,
And
The
it's
but
thing-
one
like
thing,
Western and
yeah.
it's just, and the
one
walkways are
thing-
all wooden. It's really cool.
What
Well,
was
like when you're
the,
go ahead.
what
the one
day
thing
was
that I
it for
did-
you, Rachel?
Hold on, Scarlett wants to say something.
the one thing that I did realize that there was a bunch of jewelry shops in
Oh,
all
tons of jewelry
to-
shops.
like every other store was a jewelry shop, and I'm like, jewelry shop, jewelry shop.
With like
jewelry
handmade
shop.
jewelry.
It was
I
the,
didn't
like,
even.
Diamonds
even care to
International.
look.
Diamonds
Yeah.
International.
like something
I mean, it's
had come
just
through
like a
and
cruise
taken up
port.
store
It was-
space.
When we walked in, like first and foremost, like it was day 2 for us, our first actual port, whatever.
Yeah, that was ours.
So when you got off the ship and you saw the mountains and the little town, it was just like jaw dropping beautiful. And then you walk into town and you see all these jewelry shops like Diamonds International and whatnot, and people out there like, come in here and you can get a free whatever. And I'm like, I don't want that stuff. You had to get past all that before you got to the locals. And that's what really rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, I hope the rest of the cruise isn't like this.
But then
And it
the
is.
people that live there get to wake up and then just see the mountains as soon as they wake
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And like that's what they see in the morning.
Well, that's what I was going to say when Rachel told Angie not to complain about the prices because everything is expensive. It is what it, but you know, it's almost like when you go places like that, you don't mind pay because that's like their only form of like income, like
Right.
tourism and everything. So you're like, I'm willing to pay what it costs so I can come back here again because
Yeah.
if this stops and you guys can't make money, then this town shuts down. Like
Well,
Amber was talking about the town before that, you know, so we don't have anywhere to see these beautiful places. So I'm willing to pay more to keep you guys in business. That way, when I want to come back, I have something to come back to.
and you'd think that most of that city pretty much, or town, whatever you want to call it, does shut down after the cruise season because there's nothing happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
They had
very
one-
wildernessy at
Yeah.
Skagway. Very,
They had
very touristy, very
one-
wilderness.
Yeah. One hospital or like one doctor's
Yeah, there was
office.
like one of each thing.
Like, I'm like, oh my God, like what happens if you break your glasses or like
yeah. Oh,
We
there was
had
like
to
a
go-
medicine
There was like a
Well, I was-
3-in-1 building. It was like a hospital of.
with a fire and then the ambulance?
It was a hospital
EMS? I don't know.
of fire station and a police office. And I'm like,
So it's like the public
One
service
building?
building.
Yeah, public
Yeah.
and apparently their buildings can't be higher than 2 stories.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Because
Yeah.
snow.
No, I just
No,
think it
just
has to do with they want to
preserve
keep
the
the
city.
city. Yeah.
I was going to ask,
Scarlett,
I wonder how many people stay there in the off
They
season
said it's
once
750
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, they had a grocery store because the first thing we did actually was got off the ship and went straight to the grocery store because Bethany wasn't feeling well, so we had to get some medicine for her. And that was like,
What was it like? I didn't go in one. Was it
there-
like
there was
Slim
only one.
Pickens?
No,
I
it
know,
was,
but like
it was always pretty stock for what we saw.
I didn't
but
know
we
if
went
it-
straight for the
Piggly
medicine.
I didn't know-
Wiggly or like a Publix.
It was definitely not. It was more of a Piggly Wiggly.
Okay.
Like
I was thinking like, was it like COVID days where like stuff wasn't on the shelves?
no, it was stocked what we saw, but it was
Okay.
like
a
you walked
glorified
into,
Wawa, like that's how big it was. It was just groceries in it instead of Wawa
pretty
stuff.
much. It was like a steel building, like just a steel building with aisles and all their stuff. So it was just like okay, but super nice. We went in, walked out with what we needed.
How much was a gallon of milk?
I didn't
You
look.
said
that we
You
weren't
always have to
looking
look
for
at how
milk.
much like a loaf of bread or a gallon of
I'm
milk
not
is. Or something
walking all
like
the way to
that.
the back of
Or
Price
one
Milk.
Our one tour guy said it was for a half a gallon of lactate milk for his girlfriend.
It's
It was
like
eight-
$11.
Yeah.
Woo!
And then didn't you say that's not?
I was like, I'd be skipping milk.
Yeah, I was
All
gonna
right.
say just either have
We
the
can have
tummy ache
some
or
water
not
with
drink
our
the milk.
cereal.
All right, Amber. So let's go to Juneau for a little bit. What all did you do in Juneau, and what did you think of the city?
Juneau. So Juneau is the capital city, and it feels very city out of all the towns that we went to, if you can call it that. It's very beautiful. Our tour guide told us that there's a lot of government jobs, state jobs there as well. You know, you can only reach it by boat or airplane, but that takes us to our tour. We went on a bike tour. We booked it through Disney to Mendenhall Glacier. So my husband and I did that. It was an 8-mile bike tour. We went over to like Mendenhall Lake. And then when we went to the lake and then came back. And then we had an hour or so to kind of explore Mendenhall Glacier area.
Mendenhall is beautiful, like that whole state park. Now the visitor center was run down a little bit, in my
Yes.
opinion. But I mean, especially for what it is. Like if you're selling people to go to Mendenhall, that's
Yeah.
a little bit nicer. But overall,
Yeah, I was a little let down at the museum part. I
right.
was like, this could be a little bit nicer. We did do the hike to Nugget Falls,
We did that.
so that made that worth it. And then on our way back to our bus, because she just left us to go on our own while she stayed at the bus with the bikes, we found another trail, and it was like no one was around. Probably not the best choice. You know, there could have been bears or something, but we walked on that for a little bit. And I think it eventually takes you over to Nugget Falls, which would have been really cool to do that initially.
I just remember the ride out to Mendenhall, seeing all the black or the bald eagles. in the
Yes, there were so many bald eagles in Juneau.
blatantly
That's
just
where we
little
saw.
white spots in the trees, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
We did the whale tour, Mendenhall, and the salmon bake in Juneau.
that's what the family I nannied for. So the 5 of them went and did that, or however many there are, 6 of them.
Yeah, the thing about the salmon bake was like it's in the middle of the city, but you didn't feel like it. It was like an old gold mine, and it felt great. But yeah, just Mendenhall to me was probably the highlight of that whole area. Like Juneau felt like a big city. We didn't do anything else in there. We didn't feel like we wanted to do anything else in there, to be honest. I got a text about one of the other saloons. I think it's the Wild Dog or the Red Dog or something like that. And I'm like,
We got off on our she let us off downtown, and we did walk around their downtown area. We found a coffee shop. It was called the Rookery Cafe. They had really good coffee, and there was a little local bookshop beside that we went in. And then Deckhand Dave's is also a really popular spot. So Deckhand Dave's is kind of like a food hall, but it's all outside. So there's like a crate place and a crab place and taco place. And it was really cool. There was a bunch of people hanging out there.
was that like
So that would be my recommendation there.
right there near the City Hall building?
Yes.
I think I know where you're talking, like that, where general area, because I remember seeing a bunch of people right there, and there was something going on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
The big thing about Juneau, remember, is that all the ships are pretty far away from the city itself. Like you're going to have to take bus into, like, to at least stop and then walk around the city if you want to do that.
Yeah. I don't think Disney always gets priority for there. I think Royal and Princess had the priority spots that are really within walking distance, but that's where the shuttle will pick you up and take you back to the ship, or you can walk back. I was like, it's not that far. It was a little farther than I thought. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it is a haul.
It always is. Like
Yeah,
coming
it
back
was-
from Epic to our
Yeah.
hotel.
Yes,
Like
because
It's
Terry
like
got
3/4 of a mile probably, or
Yeah.
so, It's like Hollywood Studios if you're going to, Boardwalk. You're like, it's not that far. I could do this.
It's deceiving because you can look right there and see the ship.
Yeah,
and
you're like, it's right
oh, I can
there.
go
I
right
see
over there.
it.
But then you don't realize you have to go all the way down the road and then
Yeah.
make a U-turn back to go down. And it's
Because
like
we
in a
walked around that
dock.
area too, because we wanted some good pictures of the ship, and so did extra walking.
That's the other thing to say about Skagway right quick is that's probably the best port to get pictures of the front of the ship, because the ship
Yes.
comes straight in and you can get those good pictures. What else about Juneau? Is there anything else you want to share about that one?
That's really all we did. Yeah.
Rachel, what about Icy Strait? I've never been to Icy Straits. Like, what did y'all do? And sorry, Scarlett, I keep forgetting to say you too, but
You're
Just-
included.
You're included, Scarlett. We actually did 2 excursions that day. The
Let me get
4 of us.
compliant.
We did. We had a 7:30 meet time for the 7:05, I think it was. Yeah, it was in very early morning. 7:05, we were meeting at the bar for the excursion. So we got up there bright and early, which I would have to say, like, I picked an early time because we had that second excursion. I would absolutely, if you're going to do the zip rider, get an early time because it backs up. There's only 6 seats, and we had an odd number, and he was like, someone's got to wait for the other, because the other group coming up, because we have a very busy day and we do 6 at a time. So I will say, I think that so there's 2 different gondola systems to go up. It's like you go up one a little bit and you go to like a platform, like another landing area, and then you go up.
It's a very steep.
I got scared.
I was probably more scared on that than
Yeah,
the zip ride.
I was more scared on the gondola going up, because we also
Because,
kind of stopped. Like when we were, it's
Yeah.
almost like it looks 90 degrees.
Yeah, but then you look down and
Yeah, you look
jagged
down
rocks.
and like it's scary. It's scary. You're like in the clouds. Like that's how high up you are.
No, is that it's like a fully enclosed gondola, or is it like an
It's
open
like the sky-
ski
no, it's
lift?
Like Skyliner.
Okay,
It's enclosed.
so you're
Yeah.
enclosed.
Not like a ski lift.
No, it's not a ski lift. You're fully enclosed. It's exactly like a Disney Skyliner,
It's like a little of a
But-
fear away.
but it's still, but it doesn't go in like the Skyliner. It doesn't stop like that. Beautiful views, like amazing views. You're not gonna get anywhere else.
Then once you got pretty high up, you'd see like the ocean. Like from where I was sitting, I would see the ocean that way, and like behind me would be like these mountains and over here. And then I could look forward, you would see like the ships that were docked. And what ship was also
It was
docked
the
with us?
Norwegian Joy was docked
Yeah,
with
and then
us.
compared to the Magic, it was like way bigger.
Yeah, it's a pretty big ship. But we went down, we did that, and then after that, met with my parents and we did the Jeep tour. So it's like a Jeep wilderness tour.
Yeah, but you didn't see any like animals.
Yeah, we saw a deer.
It was disappointing, I feel.
I used to be about 6 deer every morning on the way to work.
Yeah. I know. I think it was like a black-tailed deer. It was something different.
Yeah,
It wasn't like,
it wasn't a white-tailed deer.
yeah. We got to see views that you wouldn't see unless you're on that tour. So I
We
thought that
stopped
was
at,
kind of neat.
2 separate places, and
Yeah.
it was like really beautiful, where you would see this mountain and you would be like little rivers, and it was like really beautiful. I kept on taking photos of bees on a flower because
Yeah, she got distracted.
but then we stopped at another place, and it was like almost. It wasn't the same thing. It was like more flat.
Yeah.
But then there was these kids that were like climbing in the rocks, and I'm like, you're about to fall off a mountain. That's not the smartest thing to do, and you're like 5.
Yeah, but it was nice because you got to drive around. Do I think it was worth it? Not really, because I mean you got to see different part of.
I thought it was gonna be more fun.
Yeah, I thought it would
like
see
the highest
more.
we went was 20 miles per hour.
Yeah. Well, we had like a caravan. Like there's probably 6 of them following each other.
So let me ask
5, I think.
this about Icy Strait. Is there, so like Amber was talking about Juneau being able to walk around and do stuff. Is there something like that in Icy Strait?
I don't know.
There's that little ocean area.
No, just little ocean area. That's really it. Like
So-
it's more of like there's a couple bigger buildings. There's like restaurants and like a food truck type of thing, and there's like fire pits with like chairs around it and whatnot. And it's more of like
I got rocks.
she got rocks from there for her best friend. But no, it was very like I was talking to Andy and I feel like you can only access it via boat.
So would this be
Like,
something like if I didn't do an excursion, would it be worth me to go on the Magic to see the Icy Strait and kind of relax, or would I need to do the Wonder where I actually stop at Juneau and able to do
I
something?
mean,
I don't feel like there's like really anywhere to go.
there's really nothing to do. It's
like,
like unless
there was
like
only the buildings. There was like a bathroom, food, and then an area for your excursions. But our Jeep excursion was like late. Like it was
Yeah,
like
we
at
had
like
later time.
10:45, but then they came in at like 11:15 to start our excursion.
But it's not like a city where you can get off and go to have lunch or coffee or bar hop. There's nothing there. So unless you plan to get off there, I mean, you can get off there and like look around and take the gondola up to the one platform. Otherwise, you got to pay for the second platform. I don't think if you're not going to get off, there's really no point to go to like
the
that
only
itinerary.
really thing where you could go was
Yeah, because it's
it
in
was all
Alaska. It's going
rocks.
to be hot water.
Yeah. Oh, it was super warm. Should have brought my bathing suit down there.
So it sounded like y'all all had a great time up there. I know they're the classic ships. Do you feel like they are worthwhile to be in Alaska? Like, do you think Disney might want to rethink putting those ships up there, maybe put the Dream class up there, Fantasy class, whatever it is?
Amber, do you have an opinion on that?
I think for Alaska, so I've only been on 2 Disney ships. So I've been on the Disney Wish, and I've been on the Disney Wonder, and I loved it. And I was like a little nervous going on like a lower class
old
ship.
ship?
Yeah, an
Yeah.
old ship. Previously before that, I've sailed on the Icon several times, and we sail Oasis class on Royal Caribbean. So there's always something to do. So I was just like a little worried, but I loved how classic it felt. I loved the intimacy of it. I loved the ease of getting on and off the ship. And I think that was due to the amount of passengers on the ship. I think it's only 1,500. So I loved it. I don't know if they could fit in some of those places. I mean, I feel like our ship was huge, especially when it was going in through like Tracy's Arms and stuff, but I don't know.
And when you're sitting outside of Pan Pacific and see some of the size of those ships that come up, like why can't Disney bring some of these up here, some of their bigger ships? I don't know if it has to do with like you just said, like, can they fit in these areas?
So I do think they can fit in the areas because like the Norwegian Joy, we were kind of
Okay.
mirroring. So they were, when we were in Ketchikan, they were in a different spot. Like they were like hidden almost, and then we passed them. So like I do think bigger ships can fit in there. My opinion on why the classic ships are up there, the Magic and the Wonder, is because you go on that itinerary for the itinerary. You're not doing that for the ship. And I think that's why they can get away with it, because to be quite honest, I don't want to go back on the Magic and go to Castaway. Like, there's not enough for my kids to do on it.
Yeah.
Especially, it's cold, so you need all the indoor stuff. If I'm in the Caribbean, there's not much outdoor stuff to do. The pools are super small. There's no golf, like little putt-putt.
Yeah, before.
Yeah, there's not a huge outdoor space. So I just think that they put those older ships there because it's the itinerary, and they're going for the itinerary, not the ship.
Yeah, before one of our excursions, we went up to the top. Before one of our excursions, we went up to like the top, and we were drinking hot chocolate, and it was like freezing cold. And then whenever you walk down to the pool level, you'd see these little kids in their bathing suits 24/7 in the pool. But like, why bring that little of a kid on a cruise if all they're an Alaskan cruise if all they're gonna do is just sit in the pool? Because like, I don't think they even got off.
Yeah.
We did see a lot of younger families, which I was surprised. But it was almost like there were like the parents and the 2 small kids or 1 small child, and then the grandparents. It was like a multi-generational
Multi-gen.
cruise.
Yeah. I definitely would say that it is a multi-gen itinerary.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming more popular to go to these non-Caribbean, non-warm climate cruises with kids.
Colder.
I think it's just kind of like the way the industry is changing a little bit, which I like. Yeah, we did have a good amount of kids. I wouldn't say that it was overwhelming kids, like definitely way less than doing like a Caribbean itinerary. But again, you're there for the itinerary, not the ship. Like they went in the kids club like twice.
And then whenever we went in there, we never actually stayed. But then there were kids in there that all they were doing here. But then here's the thing: they had PlayStations with like Minecraft and stuff on them. But then there's these kids, and all they're gonna do is play that game, not gonna actually go out.
Right.
And like
Go ahead.
the only times me and Mason went in the kids club was when we were like super bored, and he wanted to go in there like a lot, and all we did was play cards. So like we kind of just did nothing in the kids club.
That's what I was wondering if a lot of like the smaller kids were like you said, there's multi-generational trips. I wonder if it was like multi-family generation, like they were younger cousins, like, or something like that. So if you had like bigger, but I don't know.
Did you, Amber? I didn't see any like big groups. I saw more of
more
grandparents
small. Yeah.
with the one family. Yeah.
Like 4 to 8, Yeah.
Yeah, I think at that point, it's the paying to get everybody to Vancouver is more expensive than getting on the cruise.
Yeah.
So I agree with Scarlett then. I don't know why you would take small kids if they couldn't do the itineraries and things like that, because
I'm going to get my butt up to Alaska, and they're coming along if they like it or not.
And maybe those grandparents are paying for it.
Other than that, so grandparents said this is where this year's family trip is because we're footing the bill, and obviously hop in line.
Well, I mean, we left Travis at home for ours, so.
Right. And then, like, we could have left them at the kids club and gone off. Like, I could have signed that.
But then, like, the kid is obviously in the pool. Like, they obviously don't want to be on a colder cruise. Like,
you were in the pool and in the hot tub.
I wasn't in there, like, all the time. But Mason forced me in there.
Okay, well, she was definitely in her bathing suit and was.
But, like, they obviously don't have any much interest in going out. So, like, if that's all they're doing, going in the pool, just, like,
It's going to be fun when y'all go on the Dream then, because
go on a different cruise.
When we went, Alaska last year on Disney, and then we went to Destiny this year, it was like we forgot how many kids go on a Disney cruise. Because Wonder was so quiet and like it wasn't like fully peaceful, but it was intimate. We could sit at the bar. We weren't hearing a lot of screaming or anything like that. Then we got on the Destiny, and it's like full of kids. And I know it's Disney, so I don't want the hate. But that was just the thing. It was like, oh my God, I forgot how many kids come on these things. But I still enjoyed both of them. Like you know what you're getting into going on, the Wonder or the Magic in Alaska. You know what you're getting into when you go on the Destiny in the Caribbean. So the last point I want to ask about is maybe like the must packs, because y'all said y'all were cold. Rachel and Scarlett, I don't know if you ever said if you were cold or not. I was fine. I was wearing flip flops everywhere. So,
But you wear that all the time.
Yeah.
but I'm in
That
Alaska.
doesn't
You would
count.
think I wouldn't be wearing flip flops in Alaska from a guy from Alabama.
I wore Uggs. She wore Uggs like the whole time on the cruise.
I did wear my slip-on Uggs, and I love those. Like I used them as house shoes in our room, and then
Yeah.
I wore them up on deck. And then as a pool shoe, I never got in the pool, but the others that we were with did. But I just sat there in the sun. It felt really good. But I wasn't cold. I think our coldest day was Glacier Day. So
Did you get any rain?
we had no rain.
Neither did we.
Yeah, we got
Which
no
is
rain,
crazy.
which is like super
That's
lucky.
odd.
They told
Yeah,
us
very
actually that-
odd.
Yeah, that's what they said when we had no rain besides for the frozen night. They said it's very odd to have a cruise where there's no rain during the excursion.
But from like whenever you went on your balcony, like it would be super foggy sometimes, and it would just be like mist. And sometimes you couldn't even look down and see
yeah.
the water.
Yeah, that
Like-
one time we were going through a passage and you could not see 10 feet in front of you. It was,
Like
and
you
they
couldn't see anything.
they kept honking the horn of the ship too. Yeah, it was extremely foggy, but we got no rain either.
But I mean, I would say you have to pack a rain jacket. We're
Yeah.
all saying we didn't have any rain,
Yeah.
but like,
Well, I mean,
I think you have
packed
to
them.
pack a rain jacket.
I had rain pants.
We
and
had rain. I went
I
on
didn't wear my-
Amazon and
I
got
didn't-
rain pants for the four of us.
I didn't wear my
Wow.
rain pants at all.
Yeah, I was like, we're going zip lining. I don't want what pants. Like we all had rain jackets. We all had rain pants to go slip right on top of your stuff. Layers.
Yeah, what I had like a bunch of like, what I did was I mainly wore like leggings, and then I had zip ups with some holes that I wore like 2 at a time with a long sleeve shirt, and then I put a hoodie over top. And what I did
Yeah,
like
she
was
Amber's gonna be sweating.
I know, but it was actually pretty cold. But the gloves
We
were
packed
good
gloves.
for taking photos because especially the gloves that I had, you could like touch your screen. with
Yeah,
them.
I got
Yeah.
like
And they
just
were-
regular
mhm.
touchscreen gloves.
They were
like,
good for
yeah.
the glacier viewing because my hands were freezing on the glacier. You couldn't just stick them in your pockets because I
Yeah.
had to take photos.
This
And
is
yeah,
funny, though.
She had
Y'all went
That's the
later
best
than I
thing.
did, and I'm sitting there like I wore pants and like I said, flip flops,
I-
a t-shirt,
I-
and a jacket. I wasn't wearing layers. I'm also
I had 2 pairs of
that guy.
pants on.
it was cold. I was like,
But look
I
how
had
itty bitty they
Lululemon.
are.
I had Lululemon
mean-
leggings on, and then I had like athletic pants on top of that.
And Lulus
And
are
then-
not temperature warm.
No,
Like,
they're not.
I had like
they're
thermal-
breathable.
Yeah,
I had
got her
lined
lined
leggings
like fleece lined leggings. I got her I got a fleece lined shirt.
that I forgot to wear.
Yeah, no, we got layers. Yeah,
Yeah, I would say
I didn't-
layers. I mean, that's
yeah.
what everywhere you read, and they're not wrong. I think your body temperature. You may run a little colder, run a little warmer. We
It
didn't
did.
wear shorts.
I don't think I packed
Fi-
shorts. So
Yeah.
that's
58 degrees is like in the sun, it's warm. If you're at
Yeah.
58 degrees and it's like misty and cloudy, it's
Right,
super
and then
cold. It's just one of
you're-
those kind of things.
Yeah.
and you're moving on the water. It's not like
Yeah.
you're moving like it was. They had
But then
blankets up on deck.
Yeah,
most of the
like-
days I had a slick back because it was so windy and it would just get my hair all knotted and in my face.
Yeah, definitely
I-
sweaters and joggers or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
I feel
Yeah.
like I overpacked.
I overpacked
I
because when we
definitely
were packing, I was like, oh, didn't wear this, didn't wear this, didn't
Yeah.
wear this, didn't wear this.
So for these cruises, there are no like theme nights or like
There
dress up
was.
for dinner nights
was-
or.
Oh, there was.
There
But I will
was.
tell
Okay,
you, no one but a few people follow that.
okay. That's what I was going to
I
ask.
did
Was
a little
that
bit of
like
theme.
a-
When it was a frozen
Amber.
night, I wore blue. When it was a Rapunzel, I wore purple. But like
Okay.
when it was frozen night, people were all dressed up. Someone dressed up as Anna. Someone dressed as Elsa. This one kid was dressed
Scarlett.
up like the ice monster.
Wow.
She's a favorite character.
No, they weren't because they were sitting
I
down at the tables eating, and they were like lining up. So I'm like, why would you even bring?
All right.
that?
So what did you do, Amber? What did
so we just
your
had
dress-
frozen night. I just like bounded.
Yeah.
Our frozen night we were in Triton, so it was, I don't know, just like a different than being like in Arendelle. And then we had Mardi Gras night, so I did dress up for Mardi Gras night, and that was fun.
You got the
Fun.
Tianas.
Yeah,
What I did try to do was like my fun little game that I did. I tried to, if there wasn't a theme, I would try to match the restaurant. So like
Yeah,
if
that's
we
what
went
I
at
usually do.
Lumière's, I would wear this brown hooded sweater,
Yeah.
and like at Rapunzel's one night when it was the formal night, I wore my purple dress.
Yeah. I will say though, people don't care
Yeah,
about
that's
the themes.
positive.
And people
People
showed
that
up in
sat in it.
sweatpants
Yeah.
at dinner,
Sweatpants and a sweatshirt on
hoodies.
full
It did
night.
not matter.
And then there was other people that
It
were
was
wearing
very
like full-on
casual.
ball gowns.
Yeah. I would say like if you could literally go to dinner with what you went outside on minus a few layers. Like there's no need
That's what I
to
did most
over
of these.
double pack for dinner. Like
Yeah.
when we're on a Caribbean cruise, I got like a day outfit, I got a swim outfit, then I got like a dinner outfit. You don't need that on an Alaskan cruise.
Yeah.
Literally, if you're in a sweater all day, you're in a sweater all day. I
Personally don't like it when like cast members come up dressed as like the people, and while you're eating at like dinner, I don't like it because I'm like stuffing my face with food and I'm trying to talk to them. She doesn't like character dining, apparently. Yeah, because also that Rapunzel, she was very quiet. You couldn't hear. Well, you know that restaurant's so loud. I know, but even at that, it was still super quiet. So.
Was there anything else y'all want to add about what people might need to know about the Alaska itineraries?
I would do it. If it's on your bucket list, I would just take the trip because it's only going to get more expensive as the years go on. More inflation. More people are going to want to do it because it's going to get more popular. I would say if it's on your mind, I would absolutely book it. I personally like having a balcony. I think it's nice to be able to be out there and read or just, you know, have extra space. So I do
have like an extra room away from the people.
Amber, did you have a balcony? I never asked that.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say too, is definitely just do it. We booked ours not as close as Rachel, but we definitely booked ours on a whim. We booked it in March and we were going in May, and we were like, let's just go. We're going. And definitely do it. We had a balcony. We had an aft balcony because we get Cassian, so we had an accessible room. Would not recommend on that ship.
Why? My mom
an aft balcony was
mom
was
forward?
like
She was forward.
She was forward.
Yeah, my mom had a handicap guarantee, and she ended up with a handicap front forward room.
Yeah. It would shake at night and literally like my bed was vibrating.
What deck were you on?
You're saying more so of an aft.
6.
Like you don't recommend an aft in general.
Yes. No, I definitely recommend a balcony. We would open the doors because it's not that hot. Open the door. I could sit on the bed, look at the mountains.
There were plenty of mornings where we just get up and open up the door. And
that was great.
Yeah. We had less daylight than you all probably had. So several on our ship saw the northern lights as well. They were putting them in the WhatsApp and stuff like that. So I didn't stay up that late.
We missed them we'd always, in Vancouver, they said there's northern lights and it was like storming that night. So we couldn't see them. This sucks.
What were you saying?
One thing that I love about having a balcony is because some of my best sunset photos are from a balcony, and there was just one beautiful sunset, and it was a rainbow, and it was dark out, and it looked like a filter. It was beautiful. And I'm just hanging my phone over the balcony, taking photos, and she's like, you're gonna drop your phone.
In the ocean. Yeah.
But the Mason would take his phone and he's like, what?
I would choose a room with a balcony over, because, they're like, do what you can, which, I would definitely agree with that. Do what your budget allows, but over picking excursions almost.
Right.
Some of them I would almost just get out and look around, and there's so many TikToks now, after I went, of free things, free hiking you can do, just do some research, and I would choose a balcony room though.
I said it last year. I'll say it this year again. I think Alaskan cruise, even though we've talked about Disney the past 2 summers about going to Alaska with Disney, if you have to take Carnival to get up to Alaska, take Carnival to get to Alaska. It's the beauty of Alaska outweighs any ship you're going to get on, because you're going to spend more time out there looking around and enjoying the natural beauty of the United States that we're lucky to be living in at this point. So that I would just, if you can get on any ship, whether your budget allows, the Carnival all the way up to, Princess would be the most expensive, I would think. Or if you want to stay in one of the
Princess or Holland America.
Yeah. Just get on it. Just do it.
I would also, Andy said that he would absolutely go to Alaska again, but not on a cruise.
He's on a mission to go to Alaska.
He wants to get an Airbnb for a month, live up there,
That's what my husband wants.
Like,
That's what Josh
we were
wants to do.
going right. We were going through towns and we were sitting on the balcony, and he's literally like Zillowing houses.
Yeah, there was this beautiful.
Yeah.
It was
and we
a
found
really
one for
nice
like
house.
cheap with like acreage and right on the water and like off the
Yeah, but it
grid.
was just a bunch of rocks going down from the
Yeah.
mountainside, and it was like that house. I want that house.
Mel
Yeah, it
Gibson
was.
has a house up there, if I remember right, in Juneau.
And that's, I was going to say, for families that like maybe have only done Caribbean cruises and you're worried about like, what is my kid going to do or what am I going to do on an Alaskan cruise? Especially, we had 2 sea days and then you have your glacier day, and there are so many activities, so much drawing, so much trivia. You're not bored. If you're bored, it's your fault.
Yeah.
There's so much to do on the cruises. Open house at Kids Club. There's all kinds of stuff.
Well, this is going to be a long episode. So if you've made it through the whole thing, I'm sorry it's so long, but there's a lot of information. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm glad we had the time to talk about all this with you, Amber and Scarlett. So Amber, where can we find you if somebody wants to book a Alaska Disney cruise or
Amber
anything
at
else, whatever Amber does?
Do it all. No, Disney Alaskan Cruise. Definitely contact me. You can email me at amber@magicaltravel.com or follow me on Instagram at Amber's Magical Life. So Amber's, like one S there, Amber's.
And by the time you hear this, she's going to be getting ready to go to Disney World for the not so scary Halloween party for the first one. So you
Yes.
follow her
Follow my
along so you
stories.
can- everything.
Check out a VIP tour. I'm so excited.
So thank you, Scarlett, for coming on, being our first kid guest, preteen
She's
guest.
not a kid. Gosh. Put some
I
respect
started
on that.
correcting myself. Preteen. You're
Amber,
more than
thank you so
welcome.
much.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to come
Thanks
in
for
and
having me.
replace your mom anytime you want to. But Amber, thank you again for joining us. You can catch any of the other agents at Magical Travel. We'd be glad to help you plan any type of vacation that you want to. You can find the Castles of Cauldrons on social media. If you find this interesting and you think that maybe some of your friends are thinking about going on an Alaska cruise, share this podcast with them. Let them hear all the sides there is to a Disney Alaska. Maybe that can help them out. Until the next time, we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Scarfs down, cookies.